Hey there, welcome to another episode of Football Everyday, coming to you live and direct as usual from the studios here at Menara Star in PJ. My name's Nelsen. Joining me today, a full team actually, Shaun, Zheng, Guan, and of course Ian Yi. Good to see you guys. Well, with each passing weekend, results seem to get more and more intriguing, right? So let's start with Arsenal's surprising 2-1 loss to QPR at Loftus Road. First Liverpool and now Arsenal, right, Shaun? So QPR can't be all that bad a team, right?
I think they're like a moody team actually. It seems also like when they play the bigger teams and they kind of get their act together, then of course then they're going to lose 3-4 not in the next game.
That's right.
But yeah, it was a surprise result because Arsenal were in, like on a good run themselves. So yeah, so, surprise.
But credit to QPR. Well, at the start of the year, Ian, people were bigging him up and all, and how he might be crucial to their season. Considering how he got them promoted in the first place, right? But could Adel Taarab's first league goal come at a more important time?
Yeah, it's about time actually. Yeah, actually, I was one of the people. I actually blogged about it. I said that wow, United just signed Adel Taarab. He could be a big hit. But I think the problem with QPR in general is like we're saying that they blow hot and cold. I think one of the reasons why is they have a lot of players that have a lot to prove.
Yep.
So when we play against the big teams, they're like, I'm gonna go all out for it. Like Shaun Wright-Phillips has a lot to prove. Joey Barton, Adel Taarab especially. He's still trying to get a big move. He's still talking about PSG and all that. So I think that's the reason why. But Adel Taarab, he definitely has the ability. So it's just more about getting them in the right frame of mind.
Basis, right?
Yeah, in the right frame of mind, knowing that you're a winner, not just someone who has has something to prove.
Right.
I think that's it's about the mindset. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Following Arsenal's loss that blew the race for third spot wide open, Spurs took full advantage of that by seeing off Swansea by 3-1. In general, Brendan Rodgers' team played a better football, right, Shaun?
Absolutely.
Look, and Harry Redknapp even said they were lucky to get the win. But Spurs took their chances and made them count, right?
Yeah, I think they were lucky in a sense, but I think also Spurs they were coming off quite a poor run, and I think they needed a result. I think now that they've got the result, I think
they move on?
Yeah, I reckon they'll be there.
Right.
Third, I reckon.
Starman Rafael van der Vaart, Ian, has called on the club to keep Emmanuel Adebayor. Saying he's one of the best strikers he's ever played with. So, would you agree with van der Vaart?
Yeah, definitely. But it's saying a lot because van der Vaart has played for Ajax, he's played for Real Madrid as well. So it's saying a lot about Adebayor. And the one thing I always remember is that Ferguson actually even once, reports say that he made a bid for Adebayor even when he was at Arsenal, just to test it and see, because he is that good. He is that good. If when he's on his day, he's almost unplayable. So it's more about just getting him at the right frame of mind, getting him at the right club at the right time. When he was at Arsenal, he was literally unplayable. So.
So they should break the bank then to keep him, right?
They should totally break the bank for him. Yeah.
Okay, well, a thriller at Villa Park saw Chelsea come out tops by 4-2 with Fernando Torres netting his first league goal for over 6 months. Keng, I know we've been making fun of you on the show, in recent episodes, but this time, a performance you and other Blues fans can finally shout about.
Yeah, it's a good team performance. At 2-0 up, we thought, okay, we probably won it, but then we went 2-0 and we probably, okay,
here we go
again. And it's like, if 10 minutes to go, and then if suddenly pop up with Torres with assist and then the goal.
So, relief for Chelsea fans and Torres himself?
Yeah, of course, Torres needs to score. It doesn't matter that he doesn't score 30 goals a season. He can just score like 5 goals, but he scored the crucial goals for the remainder month plus, and I think we're more than happy.
Hopefully they take Chelsea places, right?
I think Torres I've always thought he was a classy striker before he came to England.
Yep.
And like when he came to Liverpool, he really played excellent football up front. He went to Chelsea under a cloud, we know that. Half of his heart didn't want to go. Actually, he wanted to go back to Spain. And then, of course, the 50 million spoke much more than it should have. But I think now that he's coming back, I think now we absolutely. I think for Spain more importantly.
He's a hard-working player, so
he's kind of the complete striker. Right? Both feet, he can head, he's got pace, right? Okay, well, over at the Sports Direct Arena, another sorry performance by 10-man Liverpool saw them go down by 2-0 to impressive Newcastle. Look, with both the goals, Papi Cisse put in another good shift, but praise has been heaped on Hatem Ben Arfa, by Alan Pardew. So, your thoughts on that performance, Ian?
I've actually been very pleasantly surprised by Ben Arfa. But I think if you go through YouTube, you'll have pictures of him fighting at the Clairefontaine Academy. He was this tiny little guy standing up to Abu Dhabi when they were still kids and picking a fight. So he has been temperamental. He has a serious attitude problem. He's like the French version of Balotelli. But right now, somehow he's been, he's been working well. He seems to fit right in at Newcastle.
Yep.
I mean, you would have expected him. I mean, he was touted to go for the big clubs, like he was touted for Real Madrid and all that.
Arsenal and stuff, right?
And all that. So to see him doing that well in Newcastle, it bodes very well for his career, and I couldn't be more pleased for him.
Right. Okay, well, surely Liverpool deserved to lose, right? I mean, look, another sorry performance, Reina getting frustrated at the end.
Surely. They got themselves a new keeper in the end, at the end of the game. So, I mean, it was one of the worst performances ever.
But that game might have changed. It might have been different if Carroll had not dived. Actually, he could have scored from there.
But that was a big if. That was a big if.
No, what I'm saying is, if he had buried that one, I reckon we'd have had a completely
Liverpool
different
might have
result.
even won the game, right?
Exactly. Even Newcastle at home.
Okay, well, this is the part where Shaun won't be too happy. But in terms of the title race, Manchester City did well to bounce back from 2 goals down to draw 3-3 against Sunderland, but that ended their 100% home record. And I mean, surely this was a huge blow to their chances, right, Shaun?
I reckon they kind of sold it now. But I'll tell you something else. City have been poor the last couple of weeks. And if you poor in the last couple of weeks or 2 or 3 weeks at this stage of the season, then and you must remember we had 5 or 6 weeks which were really bad when Yaya Toure and him were away. So I think they poor, so they deserve not to win the league. But you must remember that Mancini is only. I mean, I know there's talk that he might not be there. This is only his first full season.
True.
Am I correct in saying that?
I think so. I'm not too sure. Well, okay. Quickly before the break, following City's failure to pick up 3 points, Man United opened up a 5-point lead at the top with a resilient, hard-fought 2-0 win at Blackburn Rovers. I mean, look, Antonio Valencia, right? Who else? I mean, David De Gea kept Blackburn at bay, but Antonio Valencia is the man at the moment, right? Yeah,
I think he's the ultimate symbol of the rebuilding process that have been going through. There haven't been any star names, haven't been any big signings. The only one was Berbatov, and
he's set to leave now,
he's
right?
been awful, But United have signed players like Valencia, Ashley Young, not breaking the bank. People like I can't remember. I mean, even people like Obertan and things like that. So over the last few years, the Silva twins, all young players, relatively inexpensive, and now we're reaping the rewards 2 to 3 years later.
Right.
So it's just all about being patient and having the right belief, having the right culture at the club, and now we're reaping the benefits.
And that was a typical United performance, right? 2 late goals. You know?
They weren't exactly
typical lucky.
Lucky right? But they didn't play too well. They didn't play too well. So we were lucky in that sense.
I think only because United are not strong. They'll win the Premier League, but they are not strong. And I tell you, if you seen what happened in Europe this year, it will happen again next year.
Unless they
because this team is not strong. This team is lucky, and this team does get a few good calls from the refs.
Right. Okay.
Fair is fair.
Hold on to your thoughts as it is time for our customary break here on the show. We'll be right back with more chat and banter and look at this weekend's eye-catching fixtures. So stay tuned to Football Every Day. We'll see you real soon. Welcome back to Football Everyday here in the second and final segment of today's episode. Okay, guys, less than 10 games to go in the BPL, and the show continues this weekend. Where on Friday, Swansea play host to inform Newcastle. Shaun, the Magpies' strike force is looking, increasingly impressive, while Swansea's form has kind of taken a dip at the moment. So, how do you see this one?
Well, Swansea, I still think Swansea okay. I think they will do okay against Newcastle. Newcastle are quite. Of course, they're a bit bubbly at the moment, and they should be given their results. But in this league, as we've seen recently, it's quite simple and to tumble. So
Newcastle might take a tumble back to earth.
Oh, I reckon so, and I wouldn't be too disappointed if they do actually.
Right. Well, okay. Well, over at the Stadium of Light, Sunderland lock horns with a third place chasing Spurs. We've acknowledged, that Martin O'Neill's done a fine job since he's taken over at the club. I mean, while Harry Redknapp has asked his team for 5 more wins, so who would you say has the edge going to this one?
Sunderland. I think Sunderland at home they've been very very impressive under Martin O'Neill. I think even away at City, I mean they did pretty well. They scrapped for it.
Yep.
So I was impressed with that. And against Spurs, a team like Spurs, if they go in hard on them, if Sunderland played the same way they did against City, which there were quite a few robust tackles flying around there, I think they could unsettle
Spurs and
them,
get to their faces and stuff,
get,
right?
Get something
a
out
result.
of this game, yeah. Definitely.
Right. Well, meanwhile, Wigan are off bottom place following last week's 2-0 win over Stoke City, but they pay a visit to Stamford Bridge this weekend. I mean, on paper at least, this should mean nothing less than 3 points for the Blues, right?
Well, we definitely need 3 points. I mean, we're going to go into the Champions League final and win. So even if
we're talking about the league here.
Even if we finish at fifth,
if
we still get we still get into the Champions League next year. But of course, we want to finish in top 4. So getting 3 points is definitely a must. And we're on a good run recently. Torres is playing well. Whole team is looking happy. So.
It should be a win, right?
I don't see why we can't win.
I quite like Chelsea actually. Right now, I quite like.
More than Man City. Well, over at Fortress Anfield, or what used to be Fortress Anfield, Liverpool welcomed struggling Aston Villa. I mean, Shaun, this one pits two lackluster teams against each other, and Villa are definitely missing the influential Stylian Petrov, who has just been diagnosed with acute leukemia. I mean, how would you call this one?
I think the key to this game would be. Douglas dropping a few of his players and bringing a few more of the youngsters in, because Liverpool not only are they disjointed, it appears quite clearly that they have got some serious internal strife. It's obvious that some of the players are now not getting along with some of the other players, and unless he does something about it, he himself has come under some serious and some heavy criticism.
It's their worst run in what 50 years or something like that, right?
So I reckon unless he drops a couple of players and brings in a few new fellas to kind of change the balance of the team,
inject some
and then they could take it. They should take it, but I'd like to see Carroll not play.
Yeah, Henderson as well maybe. Yeah. Okay. Well, in terms of the title race, the early kickoff on Sunday sees Man United play host to Queen's Park Rangers. I mean, former United idol Mark Hughes takes his team back to Old Trafford. On the back of back-to-back victories over Liverpool and Arsenal, although they did lose to Sunderland in between. But I mean, can they get anything from a side that looks to be closing in on their 20th league title, Ian?
I think QPR they're much better when they're at home. You know, they have a good atmosphere. The fans are close to the action, and you know you can intimidate the players that way. But away at Old Trafford, I don't see it happening at all. No chance. Of course, panelists here will say, United will get lucky, score a late goal.
Like why not QPR?
Yeah, I know, but I mean that's what United is all about. I mean, like I said, it's a slow rebuilding process. We don't have any star name. We haven't bought a star name in a while.
Yep.
So the football hasn't been fantastic.
And this is it's not normally normal for United to at this stage be only competing for one title, right?
Exactly. It's been a horrendous season. Let's be honest, right? I think we didn't reach the quarterfinals for any of the cup competitions we entered. So United are lacking that bit of star quality that 2 or 3 star players throughout the squad can bring. But in terms of the long-term planning, in terms of the planning ahead to win the season, in terms of bringing young players in and hopefully that they will be the star players in the next 2 or 3 years.
No one does it better than United, right?
Yeah, in terms of that, the season has been a success. Whether we win the league or not, I think that whole rebuilding process is
kind of set the foundation for the next couple of years.
Yeah,
right?
It's good. Well, I mean, as a fan, I'm happy.
All right. Well, Roberto Mancini has admitted that an 8-point lead would be unassailable, and with United expected to beat Queen's Park Rangers. I mean, the citizens have just got to keep on trying, right? But easier said than done against Arsenal at the Emirates, right, this weekend, Shaun.
But there's nothing to say that Arsenal cannot be beaten. I mean, we've seen what happened last week. I think the key issue to the title is City beating United on the 30th. And then, of course, United dropping a couple of points or so, and then City not slipping up themselves. So I know it sounds all complicated, but it can happen.
Yeah, it's the mathematical possible.
I reckon City can take Arsenal this weekend.
Yeah. Plus, actually, both of them have difficult fixtures after the derby.
Yep.
I think City has to go to Newcastle.
Yep.
And United has to go to Sunderland. So those two are very tricky games as well.
Right. Well, Kun, I mean, many people have said that Sir Alex Ferguson, might have been having a nice laugh last weekend, seeing Balotelli scrapping with his teammates over a free kick and stuff like that. I mean, would you say Mancini has lost it in the dressing room? I mean, and what of Balotelli and his future at the club?
Balotelli is a interesting character. I mean, he'll
So
pick
hot
fights.
head,
He'll pick
hot
fights
head.
for anybody. He'll pick for you. He'll pick for the referee. He'll pick for his own teammates. So I can't really say that. I mean, you can't really say that Mancini has lost it in the dressing room, but probably the confidence is a bit on the low side because following a few poor results here and there. But I think Man City still has what it takes to chase the 5 points. It's not really a big gap. Yeah.
So will it start by them
Absolutely,
doing Arsenal in front of their home fans?
Why not?
Well, you
Oh
heard it.
yeah, Arsenal again was Arsenal similar to Manchester United in the sense that they are not as strong as they could be.
Yep. Yep.
And as long as you're not as strong as you could be,
You're always
you
there for
can
the
get
taking,
beat.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Besides,
Right.
Arsenal needs to drop points so that
Right. Thanks a lot for your thoughts, guys. Pleasure as usual. Before we bid you goodbye, do remember to check out the contest that's still running on football.thestar.com.my, where you've got a chance to win loads of multi prizes from Tiger FC, Senq, and Adidas, on top of FA Cup final tickets courtesy of Astro and Emirates. You want to drop us a line? Send it to us at football@thestar.com.my. Till we see you next week, same time, same place. Been a pleasure, guys. Thanks a lot. See you next time on Football Everyday, and enjoy your football.